Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here on the group exhibit Hydrogen Fuel Cells and Batteries at the Hannover Fair 2018. I invite you all to sit down, order a drink and enjoy the next interview. My name is Falco Haag and I will lead you the next 20 minutes almost through our following talk. Our interview partner will be Mr. Rob Castien from Resato International BV, the most innovative company of the Netherlands in 2015. And he says in Resato, he found his ideal combination of high-tech products and systems, niche markets and international business. So Mr. Castien will now speak with us about the company's transition technology for clean mobility, their small-scaled hydrogen refueling stations. Please welcome with me Mr. Castien.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I'm really glad that the Germans are starting a charming offensive with the Netherlands, because everything is in orange here. And I think they're voting for us to be the 11th Bundesland. So one day we can be Weltmeister in Fußball.
Great. And one hint to the audience, if you have any questions during our talk, just raise your hand and join the discussion. Okay, let's start. Resato has a huge product portfolio. How does the hydrogen technology fit into the company structure?
Well, we are a high-pressure company. We compress liquids and fluids and gases, and we do that to extremely high pressure. And we do something with that. And today, our business is 50% water jet cutting machines and 50% high-pressure systems. And the third business will be hydrogen, also high pressure.
Okay, and how did you come to the idea of compressing hydrogen for refueling stations?
Well, it's really simple. If you think about compressing hydrogen in a refueling application, it's going to be ultimately it's going to be a 24/7 operation. And we already have production machines with the water jet cutting, and we have high pressure gas compression in our other business, and we combine the two, and we have a continuous high pressure gas compression.
Okay. I mean, there are already some big stations in constructing. I mean, big refueling stations. We speak about the small-sized stations now. Why do you think they are necessary?
Well, I think they're necessary to get started. We have the chicken and the egg dilemma, and if you look at the H2 mobility platform in Germany, there's about 5 cars for every station. And it's unaffordable today. And of course we want to transition to it. So we developed a transition product. It's a fueling station that is 10% of the cost of a big station, and people can get started.
Okay, we come on that later on again. On your website I found your motivation to provide an incentive for end users to invest in a sustainable fuel cell vehicle. Can you describe your refueling stations and describe what is different to other gas stations, please?
Just a little story. We were contacted by Stefan Holthaus in the Netherlands in 2015, and he bought a Hyundai, and it was about 250 kilometers to the first fueling station. So he said, I have a problem. And we said, yes, you have, but we have the solution. So we built him a very small station. It goes 1 kilo per hour, and that's enough for him. He refuels his car. But the next line we have is what we call a fleet owner station, where you refuel a car at 4 kilos per hour, and you can do it locally on your own premises. And then we go bigger. We have mid-size stations, and we also can build full-size stations where you refuel a car in 3 minutes. So we have the whole range, and it's a modular approach. So you can start small and grow bigger.
Okay, so does it mean I think you brought a whole system here to the fair? So how big is it, and what does it consist of?
Well, if you really want to know how big it is, you should come out to our booth D46 and measure it. It's there. I'm going to say it's about 2 meters wide, 1.5 meters high, and 1.5 meters deep.
And which pressure can you supply with your stations?
We can supply, well, we go from a very low inlet pressure. So we have a refueling station technology where we started with 2 bar inlet pressure. In this case, it was for buses, so it went up to 450. But we can handle a whole variety of inlet pressures. And we can have outlet pressures 350 bars, 700 bars. But we also have, at the Kiwa in the Netherlands, an 1100 bar, 20 kilograms per hour, 24/7 operation.
Okay, that's a wide range already. And you already said before there are a lot of initiatives who wants to start driving with hydrogen right now. What are the order criteria that you are speaking about with investors, for example, to prepare the investment in such a refueling stations when you look on the small-scaled one?
Well, I think one of the important things is, of course, you have safety. You have some criteria that you must meet. It must be safe, it must be reliable. But I think the total cost of ownership, the return of investment is the most important thing today. A lot of people don't get started because they cannot get the business model to work. You need to calculate the business model and get it to work and not only depend on subsidies. So that's what we've done. We've looked at the expensive parts on the fast refueling and have taken them out. So people have a business case that they can get started with today.
Okay, does it mean that these small stations are not located on public grounds?
They could be, but typically we call it a fleet owner station, is that people have it on their own premises and they have a small fleet and they can get started today.
And then it might be also easier to measure the output because when you don't have a public station, you just measure the overall output. So you don't need additional background and the system for measuring, for bringing back the several costs.
That's right. And what we've done is it's owned by the operator, a fleet owner station. And what you do, you take the expensive parts out. You take out the buffering, you take out the expensive cooling, you take out the payment system. And basically what you get into your office, you park the car, you hook it up, you press start and you go.
I can imagine that especially governments or municipal utilities want to go forward as an example. Do they belong to your customers already?
Absolutely. We have systems running with municipalities. For instance, at the gemeente Groningen, the municipality of Groningen in the northern Netherlands. And they fill up their iX35 Hyundais at 700 bars. They fill up buses there. They fill up street sweepers and a garbage truck. So all kinds of stuff refueled there, and also fueled by solar cells, electrolyzer. So it's really a green chain.
Okay, nice. Can you give us maybe some figures, like investment costs, for example?
Yes, we can, but coming back to the municipalities, that's a big target group for us, if you want, but also the bigger corporations. But we're also working with a company in the Netherlands called Twinning Energy. And what they do is they provide companies a total concept. So we provide the fleet owner station, but when you do business with them, you basically lease the cars from them. They provide the hydrogen logistics, so the supply on site. They provide the refueling, and you pay one price, one contract with them.
Okay, so it's much more easy now for interested investors to install and to start.
I think one of the big problems today is that people say, "Oh, I need a compression, okay, and I need a car, and I need hydrogen. How do I make it all work?" And this company that we teamed up with, it's basically turnkey. If you're an accountant company, Deloitte, Pricewaterhouse, or Deutsche Bank, you don't know about this technical stuff. But you go to them, you say, "I want to have 10 cars, I want to refuel them on my premises, make it happen," and they do it.
So it should be then a complete system where everything fits together.
Absolutely.
Great. You brought, let's go back to your station that you brought here on the fair. What can interested people see and learn right there?
Well, they can see how it looks like, they can touch it, they can feel it, and we can explain them how it works, what it is required to install, the power requirements, etc. And we have the people over there, the technical people that can do the explanations.
Great. Again, in the audience, is there any question already? Okay. On your booth, you exhibit also a booster. Why do you also show a separated booster?
Why do we show a separated booster? Well, we're a high-pressure company, and we don't see ourselves supplying fuel stations or fleet owner stations around the world. But our ultimate dream is that around the globe, hydrogen compression stations are there, and they have Resato inside.
Sounds like a big vision. And how could other exhibitors here at the Hannover Fair profit from your experience? Are you looking for further cooperation in this field?
We are. And I think one of the things that we should all do together is not fight for the still relatively small hydrogen pie that we have today and fight to get a bigger slice of the small pie. I think we should work together, everybody, and make the pie bigger so there's more for everybody. So yes, we want to collaborate and let's make this work, and let's make the planet a little bit greener for our kids.
Okay, that's really strong. What is your personal vision about the future, and what do you think, when will the future begin? I mean, you invited now everyone?
I think the future started yesterday. And if you think about hydrogen, it's already the third wave, the third time that it is a hype. But we truly believe that this time it's going to happen because the energy systems are changing. We have the Paris agreements, and we're going to make it happen this time.
Okay, thanks. I think this is a really nice conclusion to the whole topic of hydrogen. Thank you, Mr. Castien, for this interesting speech. And again, you can find his booth, Resato, at booth number D46/1. Everyone is invited to go there and to touch and feel the booster and the machines. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you also in the audience for joining us here. Thank you.
Thank you.